Welcome back to Little Reads. Today I'm going to be reading the next chapter of the Magic Faraway tree. If you haven't been watching, please do watch my previous videos on the Magic Faraway tree. I've been reading each chapter one by one, and today we're going to be reading the next chapter of the Faraway tree, which is How Can They Escape? So to find out what happened and why the friends have to escape, please do watch my previous videos, which will explain a little bit more about the adventures the three friends are having so far. So but today we are going to be reading How They Escape. How will they escape? I am a dyslexic reader, so if I do make mistakes, please do try and piece it together, because sometimes I don't know that I'm making mistakes. Another reason why I'm reading chapter by chapter, because I'm dyslexic, reading makes me really tired, and I can't always remember things that I have read previously. I've never read a book this large before, because my memory is sometimes can be quite bad, and my friends would tell you this as well. So I can only remember reading a few words. So when I read, I can't remember what I read previously, as if I come back to it. So that's why I'm reading by chapter by chapter. So even I watch my videos back to remind myself what I had read previously. But I am going to be reading the next chapter, which is How Will They Escape? Try and find the next chapter. Okay, should have passed it. There we go. Okay, so this is chapter 8. How will they escape? Okay. Moonface looked all around the room. At the top of the tower, we're in a nice fix now, he said gloomily. There's no use going down the stairs again. We shall find the door at the bottom locked, and what the good of a window if and what the good of a window that is half mile from the ground? Joe looked at the window. Gosh, he said, the tower is so tall, I can hardly see the bottom of it. Hello, said the enchanter, going off to his carriage. I suppose he's going to fetch his friend, dear Withered Willie. I don't like the sound of Withered Willie, said Silky. Joe, Rick, Moonface, please think of some way to escape. But there really wasn't any way. No one wanted to jump out the window. They all sat down, very hungry, said Beth. Has anyone got anything to eat? I may have some cupcakes, said Moonface, feeling in his pocket, but he didn't. Feel in your pocket then. They all felt inside their pockets, hoping to find a bit of coffee or chocolate. But Rick brought out a collection of strings, bits of paper, a pencil, and some marbles. Joe took out much of the same kind of things, but with his bits came a pink jar, very small and heavy. What's in that jar? Asked Beth, who didn't who hadn't seen it before. Isn't it pretty? Let me see. What can it be? Wondered Joe as he unscrewed the lid. It was, I know. We saw a witch selling whiz away ointment for broomsticks in the land of spells, and I thought it would be fun to rub some on my mother's broomstick and see it fly through the air. So we bought some. Smell it, it's delicious. Everyone smelled it. Moonface suddenly got very excited. I say, he began. I say, oh, I say. Well, say then, said Joe. What's the matter? Oh, I say, said Moonface, stumbling all the more. Listen, if all, no, if only we could get a broomstick, we could rub this pink ointment on it and fly away on it. Moonface, that's a good idea. If only we had a broomstick. But we haven't, said Joe. Look at this room. A table and a bench. No sign of broomsticks at all. Well, I'll run down the stairs and see if I can possibly get a broomstick, said Moonface, getting all excited. I saw some standing in the corner of that room we were in. I'll do my best anyway. Good old Moonface, said everyone as they watched the round-faced man shuffling down the hundreds of steps. If only he gets a broomstick. Moonface rushed down and down. It seemed such a very long way. At last he came to the bottom of the stairs. An enormous wooden door at the bottom, shut tight. Moonface tried to open it, but he couldn't. So he banged on the door loudly. A surprised voice called out, "Hey there!" A surprised voice called out, "Hey there! What are you banging on the door for? What do you want?" "A broomstick," said Moonface loudly. "A broomstick?" said the voice, more astonished than ever. "What for?" "I want to sweep." "What? What for?" "Okay, a broomstick." "A broomstick? What do you want?" "A broomstick," said Moonface loudly. "A broomstick?" said the voice, more astonished than ever. "What for?" "To sweep up some crumbs," said Moonface, quite truthfully. "Dustpan and brush will do. A dustpan and brush will do for that," cried the voice, and the door cracked, and the door opened a crack. Dustpan and brush shot out in a clatter and came to the rest at Moonface's feet. And the door shut with a bang and was bolted at the other side. "Dustpan and brush," said Moonface in disgust. "Now, who can ride away on those?" He banged the door again. "What's the matter now?" yelled the voice angrily. "These won't do," said Moonface. "I want a broomstick." Well, go on wanting," said the voice. "You won't get one. I suppose you think you'll fly away on one if I give it to you. I'm not as silly as that." "What do you suppose the enchanter would say to me when he came back if I'd given you one of his broomsticks to escape on?" Moonface groaned. He knew it was no good asking again. picking up the dustpan and brush, and climbed the stairs slowly, suddenly feeling very tired. Everyone was waiting for him. Did you get it, Moonface? They cried. But when they saw Moonface's gloomy face and the dustpan and brush in his hand, they were all very disappointed. They all sat down to think. Look, Joe, would it be any good to rub the whisked away almond on anything else? He asked. Would it would it make anything more broomstick? Would it make anything but broomstick fly? I shouldn't think so, said Moonface. But we could try. What is there to try on, though? We haven't a stick of any sort. No, but there's a table over there with this bench, said John, very excited. Couldn't we try it on those? We can easily sit on them and fly off, if only the magic would work. It wouldn't, said Silky. I'm sure of that. It's only for broomsticks. But try it, John. Joe took off the lid of the jar and grabbed a finger into the ointment and rubbed some all over the top of wooden benches, which was very like the one at school. Now for the table, said Joe. He turned it upside down, thinking that it would be more comfortable to sit on that way. They all could hold their legs as they went. Rub the ointment all over the underside of the table. As he was doing this, everyone heard the sound of horses' hooves clubbing, clap, clap, clip, clopping outside. Silky ran to the window. It's the enchanter coming back, and he's got the wizard. Willie with him, he cried. Oh, Joe, be quick. They'll be up here in a minute. Moonface, Silky, and Saucepan sat on the bench, and Joe sit on the bench. Moonface, Silky, and Joe sit on the bench, said Joe. You girls and Rick and I will sit on the table. Hurry up. Everyone stumbled to take their seats. Silky was trembling with excitement, and she could hear the footsteps of the enchanter and the wizard coming up the stairs. Now hold tight, in case we really go off, said Joe. Really? Ready? Really? Ready, everyone? Whiz away home. And wow, the bench and the table began to move. Yes, they really did. They moved slowly at first, because they were not used to whizzing away. But as the children squealed and squealed in surprise and delight, the table rose up suddenly to the window and tried to get out. It stuck. It couldn't get through. Oh, table, do your best, cried John. The enchanter is nearly here. The table tipped itself up a little, and then it could just manage to squeeze through the opening. The children each clung tightly to their legs, afraid of being tipped off. Then at last the table was through the window and sailing away upside down, its 4 legs in the air. Carrying the excited children safely, it whizzed off over the land of spells. Joe looked back to see if the wooden bench was coming too. He had had to wait until the table was through the window. Just as it was about to jerk upwards to the window, the enchanter and the withered Willie had come rushing into the room. What would have happened if Saucepan Man hadn't suddenly thrown a kettle at them? Goodness knows. It was the kettle with Mr. Changeabout in it. The lid came off, and Mr. Changeabout jumped out and turned himself almost into a giant. The enchanter fell over him. Mr. Changeabout, not seeing who it was, began to shake his fist, crying, "I'll teach you to put me in a kettle." Willie grabbed Mr. Changeabout, not knowing who he was or where he had suddenly sprung from, and there was a miraculous quarrel going on. Just as the wooden bench flew out the window, the enchanter saw it going and tried to get hold of it. But just at the moment, Mr. Changeabout put out his foot and tripped him over. "Go for it, Changeabout," yelled Moonface. "Hold him back." And out the window sailed the bench, with Moonface, Silky, and Saucepan clinging tightly to it. Far away in the distance was upside-down table. The table whizzed steadily towards over the hills and woods, and once over the sea. Oh, we've come a very long way from home since we've been in the land of spells," said John. "I know the table knows its way to our home. I don't want to land any more strange lands. I don't want to land in any more strange lands for now." The table knew its way. The table knew its way all right. Joe gave a shout as it flew over a big dark woods. "The enchanted woods," he cried. We're almost home." The table flew down to the garden of the children's home. Their mother was there, hanging out the clothes. She looked round in wonder when she saw them arriving on the flying table. "Well, really," she said, "whatever next? Do you usually fly around the country on upside-down table?" "Oh, Mother, we've had such an adventure," said Joe, tumbling off. He looked up in the air to see the bench was following, but there was no sign of it. "Where's the bench?" said Rick. I suppose it will go to the faraway tree, as that is where the others live. Gosh, I feel like trembling. Joe, I am not going into any more lands at the top of the faraway tree again. It's just a bit too exciting." "Right," said Joe. "I feel the same. No more adventures for me." The end. Okay, so that is the end of that story. Next time we'll be reading The Land of Dreams. So at least the friends all got out of this tall tower in the land of spells. Wouldn't it have been a shame if they didn't get out of there properly? So that is the next chapter in the Faraway tree. Thanks for tuning in, and please do tune back again shortly so I can read the next chapter, The Land of Dreams. Shall see what adventures they get up to next time. As I mentioned before, please do watch my previous videos if you haven't already. So thank you very much for coming and having. Thank you very much for coming and watching my videos. I'll see you next time. Bye.